Cecil Fielder. Yankees have the 2-0 lead. A homer by Leyritz and the run scoring on the error in this inning. Still have runners at first and second. .39 total home runs for Cecil Fielder. 13 of them coming with the Yankees during the regular season in the 53 games he played in pinstripes. Erickson will step off, an 0-1 count on Big Daddy. Rips it way back. Deep left center field in the alley. Cecil Fielder, goodbye home run. A 3-run shot. And the Baltimore Orioles continue to be out-homered by the Yankees, who take a 5-0 lead.
We talked about Cecil. Only 2 hits, 5 RBIs. We'll make that 3 hits and 8 RBIs in this series. Talk about big hit. Gets the sinker up. Good extension. 3-run homer for the Yankees.
4 of the runs unearned in this inning on the error committed by Alomar that helped keep it alive. And Cecil Fielder just drilled it. And the Yankees have 5 runs on 5 hits. Strawberry up, 2 down. Erickson gave up 21 home runs during the regular season. He has given up 2 in this inning.
And how about the graphic we used in our opening? We talked about, let's see Cecil again. Look at this. Let's look at the dugout. Look at Torrey and Zimmer. That's gone. That's out of here. Long gone. Talked about it in the opening. Scott Erickson only allowed 1 home run to the Yankees in their career. 375 at bats here in the 3rd inning. He's given up 2.
1-2 the count. And Strawberry rifles it, but it's curving foul down the left field line. 1-2 on Darryl Strawberry. A very disappointing start for the Baltimore Orioles, who had hoped their sinker ball pitcher Scott Erickson would be able to keep the ball out of the air. That has not happened here. Strawberry takes it down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. RBIs for Leyritz, 3 for Cecil Fielder, 1 on the error. 5 runs in here in the 3rd inning. And Strawberry drills one center field. Brady Anderson, warning track wall. Goodbye home run to the 2nd level bullpen. Over 420 feet away. Darryl Strawberry, his 3rd home run in 2 games. 6-0 Yankees.
Now that ball really, when it came off of Darryl's bat, you thought it was a fly ball to center field. We mentioned it in the 1st inning. The ball will carry better in day games, a little hotter, but I did not. That ball was in the Yankee bullpen.
Wow.
Scoring runs again with the Yankees. 2 outs. Look at the extension. He hits that ball, and I mean, it just keeps taking off. 448 feet away. Look where this ball lands. Off the back wall of the Yankee bullpen.
The Yankee bullpen is on the 2nd tier. Darryl Strawberry, 6-0 Yankees. And here's Paul O'Neill. Warm-up action in the bullpen for the Orioles. In a must-win setting, are down 6-0 in the 3rd inning. O'Neill fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Orioles getting beat at their own game. Looks like Archie Corbin warming up. Getting beat by the long ball.
And I mean, these are home runs anywhere. Down to first base, Rafael Palmeiro will take it to the bag. But the Yankees batted around in the third inning. The New York Yankees trying to get to the World Series for the 34th time. Have a 6-0 lead here in Game 5. Davy Johnson's Orioles with a huge mountain to climb now. But it is only the third. Andy Pettitte has retired 6 in a row as Eddie Murray takes the pitch for a strike. Murray, Surhoff, and Parent for the Orioles. Their big bats just have not been able to respond. A new record has now been set for the league championship series, either league, for most home runs in a series. These two teams have combined for 16. The previous record was 15, set back in 1987 when Minnesota and Detroit combined for the 15 home runs. We've got 16 combined now in these 5 games.
Well, you would figure that because this is the year of the home run. There's Reggie in the dugout. Reggie Jackson in the dugout.
Eddie Murray chops that one towards short. Jeter. 1 away here in the third inning.
You know, last night Darryl Strawberry, after the 2 home run game, gave some credit to Reggie Jackson. Reggie's a special assistant to George Steinbrenner, but he also comes and get in uniform and talk a little hitting with the power hitters. Darryl gave Reggie some credit. He said he pumped him up before the ball game, got him going, got him excited.
It worked, whatever it was. B.J. Surhoff. His first at bat here in this game. Surhoff on the check swing. Check to see if he went around. No. And the count goes to a ball and a strike. Surhoff 9 for 26 in the postseason with 3 postseason home runs. Breaking ball by Andy Pettitte tied him up, but he doesn't get the call. 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know, speaking to Jim Leyritz before the ball game about Andy Pettitte, said, you know, Rick, they had reports on us. We used fastball changeup against the Rangers. We pounded the Orioles inside, everything inside Game 1. He says, I actually have an opportunity today to combine both of them. We actually have an advantage. He said we can use whatever, either way. We can go either way today to pitch to the Orioles.
And they're doing that already.
And he said the other thing to think about, and he made sense. He said Andy Pettitte likes pitching on 3 days rest. That's a big bonus. I said, well, he's really not done it a lot. He says, no, but he's not an overpowering pitcher. So he's going to rely more on control. And you could see it today. It seems like his control is a lot sharper than Game 1.
2-2 pitch, foul back again by Surhoff. Pitching effortlessly to start the game. No sign of any fatigue that has been talked about surrounding Andy Pettitte here in the playoffs and towards the end of the season after the 34 game starts that he had. This is his 3rd postseason start. He still does not have a postseason decision in 3 postseason games in his career. And that pitch is taken down low, and it goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. In fact, Andy Pettitte concluded the season with 5 straight no decisions. Last 3 starts of the regular season, 1 in the division playoffs and 1 in this one. He won't care anything about that if he can get a W up on the board today. Gives up the walk here. With 1 down, B.J. Surhoff trots down the first Oriole base runner. Mark Parent will be coming to the plate. Parent has had only 10 at-bats in the postseason with a couple of hits, no RBIs. The Orioles need to do here, and we see it happen so often in baseball, is chip away. You fall behind big early, you get a run here, run there, you've got time. And you get late deep in the ball game, you get yourself back in it within a couple of runs if you can hold the other team. Sometimes early leads are some of the worst things that happen in baseball.
A lot tougher to pitch. I always used to try to remind the pitcher, hey, we stay with the same game plan. It's a 0-0 ball game. Let's stay the same way. Don't change and don't take any more risks than normal.
1-0 count on Parent. And that's down low. 2 balls and no strikes.
Especially against a team like the Orioles. The home run bats. They can get themselves back in this game in a hurry.
Mark Parent appeared in 56 games during the season. 18 of those with the Orioles. 9 home runs, 23 RBIs on the season, where he hit .226. 2-0 pitch, and this is of all the things Andy Pettitte does not want to do. It's to put people on with walks with a 6-0 lead.
It's amazing. I must have jinxed him because I started talking about his control and not overthrowing. Right now he's just got out of sync in a hurry. Good sign by Leyritz, who's worked with him, his personal catcher. We've talked about it in our opening. Time to go out, regroup, refocus, get back to throwing strikes.
.3-0 the count. Surhoff at first. Got to believe Parent, if ever he's going to take one, would take one here. It's there for the strike. 3-1. Orioles don't take many pitches, but at this point you've got to get base runners on, so you wait and hope. Palmeiro and Ripken. 3-1 delivery, and Parent, a towering fly ball left center. Strawberry, Williams, both of them. Strawberry out rebounds Bernie Williams. Took it over Williams' head.
I don't know how many times we've mentioned it in this series already. Miscommunication by the Yankee outfielders and infielders. This time, Bernie, either he talks, and he's very soft-spoken, but it gets to the point where you got to start screaming now, because it has not cost the Yankees so far, but it could in an important ball game.
Joe Torre's got to be wondering what he's got to do.
That'll drive him nuts. You see Darrell's calling for it, Bernie's calling for it, but really Bernie's the one who has to take charge.
1 down, or 2 down rather, and a 1-strike count on Brady Anderson. Surhoff remains at first base. Anderson grounded out his first time up.
Another ALCS record, 3 home runs in an inning. It's the second time it's ever happened. They tied a record. Others were by the O's against the Twins in 1970. Look at that. See that right on top of it again. And it was home runs by Boog Powell, Don Buford, and Mike Cuellar.
Cuellar's was a grand slam.
And he's the pitcher. And speaking of Boog Powell, Boog has his little area behind, and that's what makes this place so special. His barbecue pit over the right field wall.
2-1 delivery. Line drive to second base. Soho's there and hauls it in. Brady Anderson is retired, and so are the Orioles. No runs, no hits, a walk. They leave 1 on. And at the end of 3 here at Camden Yards in Baltimore, the Yankees 6 and the Orioles nothing.
During the next 2 innings, only Yankee Derek Jeter could get on base. As we join the top of the 6th, Baltimore hurler Scott Erickson has been relieved by Arthur Rhodes.
And Strawberry takes the pitch outside for a ball. Strawberry delivered his home run in that 3rd inning when the Yankees got all 3. He's now had 5 hits in 10 at-bats in this series. 2 home runs last night and 1 in the ball game today. And the outside corner strike is called, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. World Series will begin in the American League City. The Yankees should win. They would have the first 2 games. Middle 3 go to the National League City. And then if there were games 6 and 7, they would be back in the American League ballpark.
And a big advantage in the American League ballparks. Let's say it's the Yankees. They get to use a designated hitter at the home ballparks. When you visit the National League City, you'll see some interesting hacks from pitchers who haven't swung a bat maybe their entire career.
The unending dispute, which appears at this time to be one that's just going to go on. Neither league willing to change. The American League not willing to go back with pitchers hitting. The National League unwilling to use the designated hitter. So each league has its own, and it changes the philosophy of managing significantly. Makes it much more difficult in the National League.
Yeah, the one advantage, though, for all the 4 playoff teams, all the managers have managed in both leagues. Tony La Russa, Davey Johnson, Joe Torre, and Bobby Cox. So they're familiar with the differences in the league. National League, a lot tougher to manage there. And Torre's used to that. You got to use more players. That's something that Torre finds a way to do anyway, even in the American League.
Just one more added piece of interest that goes on in the World Series. Darryl Strawberry with a 3-ball 2-strike count. Arthur Rhodes just coming on in relief here in the 6th inning. O'Neill and Leyritz waiting to follow Strawberry, and he rips it to third. Zeile had moved over a bit, right in the perfect position, and Strawberry is retired. One away here in the Yankee half of the 6th. The World Series schedule that we were talking about looks like this. Game begins October 19 at the American League City. They'll play 2 days in a row, 19 and 20, then have a travel day. They move to the National League, 3 consecutive games, and then another day of travel before games 6 and 7 if necessary, back to the American League ballpark. All night games. We will have them all live for you. Major League Baseball International's coverage of the American League Championship Series here, and we'll move on to the World Series. Joe Torre hopes. So will he. Paul O'Neill, 1-strike count on him, bounced in the dirt by Rhodes. O'Neill has hit into a double play and grounded out. Just 160 in postseason for O'Neill.
One thing to think about, if you're a Yankee fan, you will not be able to use maybe Cecil Fielder in the National League Park if the Yankees get in, unless they decide to give Tino Martinez a day off at first base. Big disadvantage for the American League team because you've played with a designated hitter the entire year. For a National League team, hey, it's no big deal. They play that way all the time, and they actually get to put another hitter in the lineup, which is a big plus for a national team.
Something they don't get to do all year long. 1-ball 2-strike count, and Paul O'Neill up the middle has got himself a base hit. He will limp his way down to first base, and that will be the 8th hit for the Yankees in the game. A 1-out single by O'Neill in the 6th.
And I don't know your take on the designated hitter rule, but I don't get too excited when I see pitchers having to hack. I much rather look at a Cecil Fielder or Darryl Strawberry, much more of a threat. Okay, the games are a little bit longer, more runs are scored, but I kind of like the offense in the game.
I'm a National Leaguer at heart, I guess, because I like 1-0 ball games.
Yeah, you know what I do like, though, Gary? I love the strategies that are involved in the National League style games. Managers really have to be on top of it. Your bullpen comes into play a lot more, and pinch hitters are used more often.
Yep. It is really different. That one bounces away, and O'Neill goes down to second base, bad wheel and all on that one. And Arthur Rhodes, I said between innings to Rick, watching Rhodes come out to pitch here, he already had his head down. I mean, he came out of the bullpen with his head down and kind of went to the mound and threw a couple of pitches, and he really seems out of it here. And that one, Parent just couldn't stop.
Well, I mean, this crowd has been taken out of the ball game since the 3rd inning, and it's frustrating for the Orioles. They've seen a lot of line drives hit just in this game alone, caught. You realize that the tee times, golf tee times, are could be just one day away. And as a manager, you don't want players to start thinking that way. As long as you are able to take hacks up there, you have a chance to win this ball game.
Rhodes trying to bear down, fly ball right. Bobby Bonilla in the corner. It's a foul ball, and not by a whole lot. Boy, that's where that short porch down there. That's just a long foul ball in most places. That thing over a few more feet's a home run. It was all the way down there by the pole.
Bandbox.
Wow.
Ball flies out of here. Rick Down, the hitting instructor, said, yeah, it's a homer-friendly ballpark, but the amazing thing is we hit a lot more home runs on the road. We didn't take advantage of this ballpark.
That is amazing for a ball club setting a new home run record. They do more on the road than at home. Swung on and missed by Leyritz. Rhodes gets the strikeout on him. 2 down. O'Neill still at second base.
I think yesterday we talked about it. In all sports, only one team gets to go home happy at the end of the year. They're the champions. Everybody else really disappointed.
Yep.
Even though, I mean, really, what do the Orioles have to be disappointed about this season? At one point, they were 12 games behind the Yankees in August. They were able to rebound and get to postseason play.
The only thing you play for is the ring after you've gotten your contract signed. You're going out to win the World Series. Anything short of that is unacceptable. And you get so few chances. These veterans know it. Ripken, Palmeiro, Davey Johnson's been there before. Alomar's been there before in a World Series. They don't come along very often for major league players to get even this close. And close is not enough.
That's exactly right. Close is not enough. I played in one World Series. We lost it to the Dodgers. And I remember everything that went on in that championship series. And that was 1981. You remember every little detail. How we could have won that series, but yet we lost and we came home disappointed. You remember when I did a story just the other day, a guy called me because it's been 15 years since the Yankees have been there. And you remember every little detail like it was yesterday. It stays with you for a long time.
Boggs was there 10 years ago with the Red Sox, who were one ground ball away from getting a ring. Went through Buckner's legs. People forget there was another game after that. The Red Sox also had the lead in that game against the Mets and lost it. Drilled hard into left field for a base hit. O'Neill's making the turn. Surhoff's throw to the plate in time. Parent the tag. Soho credited with a single. But B.J. Surhoff gets a gimping Paul O'Neill at the plate. That will end the inning and hold the Yankee lead still at 6-0. The pinch hitter is Chris Hoyles. Hitting for Mark Parent. Hoyles in the number 9 spot here against Andy Pettitte, who has given up 1 hit, a single by Zeile in the 4th inning. He has walked 1 and struck out 1. The Orioles have had just 2 runners left on base, both of them at first base. They have not gotten a runner to second base in this game. Pettitte with a 1-1 pitch, and Hoyles fights that one off. A ball and 2 strikes on him.
Yeah, the little note on Hoyles. First home run by an Oriole catcher since that man we saw in the dugout, Andy Etchebarren. What a good guy Andy is.
Bench coach for Davey Johnson and the Orioles. Counterpart of Don Zimmer of the Yankees. 1-2 delivery to Hoyles. 2-2 as that one was down low and away. 2 guys whose confidence the managers have. 2-2 delivery by the left-hander Pettitte, and Hoyles swings through it and is gone. Andy Pettitte gets his second strikeout, 1 away in the bottom of the 6th inning.
I just remember what Jim Leyritz told me before the ball game. He says we have a lot of options today. They had scouts watch Pettitte against the Rangers, where we used fastball changeup. Then we had the Division I ALCS first game where Pettitte threw nothing but cutters inside. A couple of different ways we can attack the Oriole hitters today. And he has used a combination of everything today. Changeups, curveballs, cutters in, and he's had control from the first pitch of the ball game.
Looks far more effective today than he did in game one to me.
Well, you remember in game one, he made a lot of mistakes with the cutter up in the strike zone. Gave up 2 home runs, one to Brady Anderson, one to Rafael Palmeiro. He only had given up 1 home run to a lefty all season long.
Look at the economy of pitches, too. This one, Brady Anderson puts to center field. Bernie Williams moving over. Settles underneath it, and there are 2 down.
That was an amazing stat, the total pitches that Andy has had working himself into the bottom of the 6th inning. Just around 10 pitches an inning. Look at that, 66, 11 pitches an inning he's averaging. And you know, he talked about pitching on 3 days rest. He said he's not overpowering. It actually helps him because he doesn't try to overthrow the ball.
Todd Zeile, the only Oriole to reach, drives this one to left center field, and goodbye home run. Todd Zeile.
Talked about Zeile making the adjustments against the left-handed starters of the Yankees. Home run. Look at Pettitte's reaction. You talk about determination on a youngster. This guy has stepped up. He is just upset about giving up that home run to Zeile.
Zeile went 0 for 4 against Pettitte in the first game. He is 2 for 3 in this one with the only 2 hits the Orioles have. His 3rd postseason home run this year, and Zeile puts the Orioles on the board with a 2-out homer. A 6-1 Yankee lead now. Roberto Alomar has had an 0 for 2. So the Orioles will not be shut out. They were shut out only once all year. This is a pretty amazing number over 162 games. Alomar fouls that one back. 1 ball 2 strike count on him.
We talked about the home run power of the Orioles. They're not out of a ball game. As long as they have 1 at bat left at this ballpark, they could come from behind to win a ball game. If you're Pettitte, you got to regroup after that home run and get back to pitching.
He has not hurt himself with the free pass today. He's given up only the 1 walk. So the Orioles have not been the benefactors of the base on balls, giving him a chance with a multi-RBI homers. Down to third. Wade Boggs, fair ball. Throw to first. Gets him. Alomar retired, and so are the Orioles here in the 6th inning. A run on a hit. The home run by Todd Zeile off Andy Pettitte. And at the end of 6 here in Baltimore, the Yankees lead the Orioles 6-1.
There was no change in the score in the 7th inning as we join the top of the 8th. Yankee DH Cecil Fielder is facing Alan Mills.
Cecil Fielder, the homer came in the 3rd inning. This has been a 1-inning game. The New York Yankees got their 6 runs in the 3rd on 3 home runs. Cecil Fielder picking up the 3 RBI shots. Strawberry had one, and Jimmy Leyritz had the other. And it's all they've needed. The home run by Zeile in the 6th inning, the only run by the Orioles, and Zeile's had the only 2 hits off Andy Pettitte, a single in the homer. 2-1 count. Cecil Fielder takes it down low from Mills, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike on Fielder.
Back in 1989, Cecil Fielder went over to Japan, played in the Japanese league, and then came back to the Tigers in '90 to hit 51 home runs.
And now with the Yankees doing the same thing in postseason for them. He draws the walk here as Mills walks Cecil Fielder, and that will bring up Darryl Strawberry. The home run in the 3rd inning, his 3rd of the playoffs. Davy Johnson will make the trip to the mound first. However, Mills is going to be gone. Cecil Fielder also is going to be gone as he'll come out for the pinch runner, and Mills will be replaced by the left-hander Randy Myers, coming out of the bullpen for the Orioles. Strawberry, besides the home run, has drawn a walk and grounded out. Myers gets the breaking ball in for a strike. Talked about Bernie Williams, the likely MVP of this series. Randy Myers, one of those in this ballpark who was an MVP in the National League Series. He and Rob Dibble back in '90 shared the distinction. Towards the warning track, it will be hauled in by B.J. Surhoff. Tagging up, Fox goes to second base.
That's a little play that you very rarely see done. Long fly ball to left center field. Fox goes back, he tags up and gets himself in the scoring position. Too many times you see guys just go halfway on that play. This ball's hit deep enough where you can tag up and get yourself in the scoring position like Fox did.
Strawberry, that's just sheer muscle. As he was going away from that pitch, he drove it with the upper part of his body to about the 360 mark. There's Fox, who made the good play to get to second base, and Paul O'Neill comes up. O'Neill's got a 1 for 3 in this ball game. Runner at second base. He fouls it off Randy Myers. Got a number of players in this game. You see the numbers for Myers who have been involved as MVPs. Mike Devereaux was the MVP with the Atlanta Braves last year in the National League Championship Series. He's been almost an unheard of person in this series with the Baltimore Orioles. Did make one start, got a couple of at-bats. Myers, who was shared the MVP in '90. Davey Johnson, of course, has won a world championship with the New York Mets back in '86. Guys who've been involved in postseason play, lots of them on these two teams. Breaking ball, 1-ball, 2-strike count on O'Neill. Joe Torre saying the one thing left for my career as a player and manager, the World Series.
Not too far from that.
8th inning, Yankees have the 6-1 lead. O'Neill jammed with heat, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pettitte had 2 complete games during the regular season. Probably would not go after a complete game here.
Well, you look at his pitch count, it's still very low, so there is a chance if he can get the next 6 outs that he probably will be around for a complete game.
He's cruising along.
Because you look at pitch counts and you look at the types of pitches. For Andy Pettitte today, it's been relatively easy pitches. A lot of easy outs, first, second pitch outs.
Bottom half of the 8th inning will probably decide that, whether he gets to go 2 innings or not. And O'Neill is on as Randy Myers walks him. So the Yankees here in the 8th inning put runners on at first and second. Couple of walks given up. 1 down. And Jimmy Leyritz will be coming up.
Also a huge performance. There you look at John Wetland. Most likely he'll be on the mound in the 9th inning. A familiar spot for him. What Andy Pettitte did today, Joe Torre probably did not have Mariano Rivera available. 2 innings of work yesterday. Look at the 83 pitches through 7 innings.
2 hits. That's all they've gotten off him. Jimmy Leyritz struck out last 2 times up after hitting the home run in the 3rd inning. Yankees have left only 4 on base. They've had 10 hits in the game. Fouled off outside of third behind Willie Randolph, the coach. And a ball and a strike on Leyritz.
All the things that Joe Torre has been through this year. The loss of his brother. His other brother in the hospital waiting for a heart. But yet able to keep his focus. I mean, it has been very difficult for Joe. And he has just handled it. He has handled it. I mean, it's really been tough for him.
Fouls that one off. He has said that there have been days where he has come to the ballpark simply to get away from everything else. I mean, the ballpark has kind of been a place for him to go to relax, of all things. said you don't feel the pressure of a ball game when you have these things going on in your personal life. Ball game takes on a whole new look. You just come out and enjoy it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jimmy Leyritz with 2 on.
And somehow, playing in New York, Joe Torre has eliminated egos from his team. That is something that's really been unheard of over the years. He has got 25 guys that are willing to sacrifice their egos. I'll give you today. Tim Raines, a good example, has been playing very well in left field for the Yankees. A big reason they're here. Well, Strawberry's hot. He's in the lineup. Sacrifice your egos for the winning of the team.
Runners go. Ball gets away. Fox makes the turn, but he'll stay at third. A walk, 2 in a row, surrendered by Randy Myers. Leyritz goes down, and the Yankees have loaded the bases here in the 8th inning with 1 away.
See the breaking ball in the dirt. Hoyles just comes up a little bit too quick. Never kept the glove on the ground. And they're trying to add on again.
6-1 lead. Luis Sojo has singled. He's 1 for 3, getting the start for Duncan. He's got the bad knee that's kept him out of the start in this game. So Luis Sojo starting at second base. And Sojo's got a chance right here to really blow the doors off it. Played in 18 games as a Yankee, 95 overall in the year. Played for Seattle last year when the Mariners were eliminated. Gets a second shot at it this year to stay in it and go on. Rivera's all wrapped up. Strike called on the outside corner. Myers strikes him out. 2 down.
And it's bringing up that familiar guy, Derek Jeter, with 2 outs. How many big hits has Jeter got in this series and in the postseason? This is the difference between winning and losing. The Yankees have been able to get big 2-out hits. The Orioles have not.
Derek Jeter, the 2 for 4 today, 425 overall in the playoffs. Bases loaded and 2 down. "17 hits for Derek Jeter in the playoffs. 10 of them have come in this series.
That's only in 9 games.
Amazing. Pitch is taken down low for a ball. Hard to believe you'd have somebody with those kind of numbers probably not going to be the MVP because of the play of Bernie Williams. But he certainly deserves substantial consideration. 1-1 count, 2 away. Yankees trying to add to it here. 3 on, 2 down. Jeter takes the pitch from Myers down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. There is Bernie Williams, who's added a double, a single. Runs scored in this ball game. Both have hit successfully in all 9 playoff games, both Williams and Jeter. Doc Gooden not on the roster but on the bench. 2-1 the count. And 3-1 with no place to put him.
One of the big reasons the Yankees are in postseason was that man, Doc Gooden.
'22-year-old rookie Coppinger, who lost the game yesterday, making the start. 3-1 pitch. 3-2.
Just went up the ladder and he swung at a bad pitch. Jeter did. 3-1 fastball. Maybe looking to do a little bit too much with that pitch. Seems like everything Torre has done this year has worked out right for him. Like what he saw of Strawberry. Said, I'm going to put him in the lineup in Camden Yards, see what happens. Well, A lot of good things have happened for Strawberry and the Yankees.
3-2 pitch. Shallow right. Bobby Bonilla. Alomar. Alomar the call. And Jeter is retired. Well, the Oriole fans are not going to go quietly. Their team may be down 6-1, but they're celebrating a successful season and a good time at the yard. And hoping against hope with 2 more at-bats to go that the Orioles can mount a huge rally.
And they're really trying to find a way to get it done here in their home ballpark, which is something they haven't been able to do against the Yankees all year long.
Andy Pettitte. Eddie Murray fouls it off. Tim Raines has come on to play in left field. Darryl Strawberry out. Joe Torre making the defensive replacement. There's Raines. Baltimore has gotten 1 man to second base. That was Todd Zeile with a home run. Pettitte 0-1. Missed outside with it. A ball and a strike on Eddie Murray.
And this crowd has picked it up to another level. They are trying to spur them on, the Orioles. He's got the gloves on, ready to fire them up.
They need base runners. Pettitte misses inside. 2-1. We talked about whether Mariano Rivera would be available. I'm surprised to see he's in the bullpen.
I thought maybe 1 inning. 1 inning for Torre, couple outs.
3-1.
And we in our opening today, the 8th inning has been the crazy inning of this series. And we are in the bottom of the 8th.
3-1 the count. Murray drills it left field deep. Raines back. Wall. Goodbye. Home run. Eddie Murray. .501 home runs in his major league career. You don't think the crowd has something to do with firing up a team? 3-1 count. We mentioned that there's only 1 time, I think, today that Pettitte had fallen behind the Oriole hitters. Murray took a 3-1 fastball, hit it into the left field seats. Pettitte's reaction. The first thing he wanted to know from Jim Leyritz was where was the pitch. The second home run for the Orioles, accounting for both of their runs. It is now a 6-2 game. Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, came out to talk to Andy Pettitte. That is the first home run of the postseason this year for Eddie Murray, and the first that he has ever had off Andy Pettitte. So the veteran, who has 501 career regular season home runs, has really revved it up yet another notch. Just the 3rd hit for the Orioles. B.J. Surhoff, ball 1. .1-0 pitch, center field, stays up. Williams has got it. That was an atom ball.
And they've hit some hard balls right on the nose against Pettitte. Couple of line drives right at Soho at second. Couple of more line drives right at Bernie Williams. All you can do as a hitter is hit the ball hard. You can't direct it. And like you say, you need base runners. Surhoff gave this ball a charge.
Right to Williams. In fact, he almost came in underneath it. That line drive hung up. Surhoff retired. 1 down. Chris Hoyles struck out in his only at bat. 5 precious outs remain for the Baltimore Orioles to come back in this game. Breaking ball to Hoyles.
See, that's the pitch we have not seen Pettitte use in that first game of this series. Leyritz had that in his back pocket. He knew that he can call upon that curveball today from Pettitte because the Oriole hitters really haven't seen it. And he's been able to throw it for strikes.
Over swings on that one. 0-2. 2-strike count on Chris Hoyles. Number 9 hitter. Top of the order, Brady Anderson on deck. 1 down. Fouled off, keeps his at bat alive. Yankees have now outscored the Orioles in this series 27-16. They have the 6-2 lead here. More tense as you get closer. Mel Stottlemyre's son, of course, pitching for the St. Louis Cardinals in that series against Atlanta. Won a game is his outing. Breaking ball again, fouled off.
You know, in certain situations, as a catcher, you start looking at the scoreboard. And in no hitters, you start looking, you say, okay, we need 7 outs. And you start playing them down in your head. Well, now it's down to 5. We need 5 more outs. That's what you're thinking as a catcher. And try to work it that way. Don't get caught up in the whole moment. Think about your pitch selection and then go after the hitter.
Leyritz, the count 2-2. And it's 3-2 on Hoyles. Pettitte has walked only 1 in this game. Three-two pitch, hard to third. Wade Boggs on the big hop makes the play. 2 down.
That was a rocket at third base. That ball was actually by Boggs, and you see Pettitte's trying to give him everything he has, but he's gotten behind now the hitters in this inning. Home run to Murray. Ball smoked by Surhoff. This ball is smoked. Look at how Boggs takes this ball. It was almost by him. But Torrey's staying with Pettitte. One more hitter trying to get Brady Anderson out.
Hoyles the second out here in the 8th inning. Brady Anderson to second base. Luis Sojo, and that will do it in the 8th. The Orioles add their second run on Eddie Murray's first home run of this postseason up Andy Pettitte. We go to the 9th inning with the Yankees leading 6-2. Andy Pettitte in the middle of your picture has pitched a great game. Wade Boggs at the plate, fouls it back. Will Andy Pettitte get a chance for a complete game?
Sure looks that way. Still on the bench. John Wetland just stirring now in the bullpen. I think Joe Torre's going to give him an opportunity to have a complete game. Look at that big sigh of relief, that big breath. Yeah, let me get 3 more outs. I could do it.
And Boggs has got a base hit. Wade Boggs leading off the 9th inning for the Yankees gets his second hit, 2 for 5 on the day after he broke out of the 0 for 17 in his second at bat. Randy Myers surrendering this base hit. His catcher Jimmy Leyritz.
And Joe Torre, if they happen to hold on to win this ball game, we'll have to start thinking about who'll be my game 1 starter. Will it be Cone or will it be Pettitte? You can even think about Jimmy Key, the way he's been pitching of late. But that's what it gives you when you have a week off prior to that. Set your rotation the way you want it.
Everybody will be rested. 11 hits in the game now for the Yankees. Eddie Murray Ian Zeile, the home runs that have put the Orioles on the board, and just 3 hits off Andy Pettitte in this 6-2 game. Myers fastball in the inside corner to Williams. Bernie Williams, a double and a single, reached on an error, struck out the other time up. He's batting .485 now overall in the postseason. With the 2 hits he's added today, he is 9 for 18 against Baltimore.
And how different this series could have been in that first game if Bernie Williams didn't hit the home run off of Randy Myers in the 11th inning. What battles these 2 teams have had this year. Doesn't look that way. It looks one-sided the way the Yankees have dominated them. The Yankees have found ways to beat the Orioles, whether it's here or in Yankee Stadium, but they've had memorable battles all year long.
John Wetland, their ace, will now get ready in the bullpen. Myers has a 2-1 count. Boggs on at first base. Fouls that pitch back, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. The wild card Baltimore Orioles were hoping this would be their chance to get back at the Yankees, who demolished them during the regular season in W's in those close games. The Orioles were confident coming in that they really had a shot. The Yankees have simply outplayed them. 2-2 is going to be held up here. Timeout taken at the plate by Williams. Derek Jeter sitting and waiting. This one down the right field line. Bobby Bonilla just shy of the warning track. Back to first base goes Boggs. 1 down here in the 9th inning. So they get Williams out of there. Tino Martinez still looking for that RBI. What runs through the minds when you get to this point? You're a Baltimore Oriole. You worked so hard to get here, and then fall early in the game behind 6-0 in the 3rd inning, and then get shut down. Martinez with the 0 for 4. Randy Myers is trying to hold it to give his team a chance. They'll have Zeile, Alomar, and Palmeiro due up in the bottom half of the 9th inning for Baltimore. Everybody just kind of fidgeting in the Yankee dugout. They want so desperately to celebrate, but there are 3 more outs left. Myers with a 1-ball 1-strike count. Andy Pettitte. 1-1 makes the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Got him to wave at the breaking ball down and away. Last time New York won the American League Championship Series, 1981 over Oakland, 3 games to none. They've gone to the World Series 33 times in their franchise history. 1-2 pitch is up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Down low, and the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. We will have all of the World Series games for you live here on Major League Baseball International's coverage. Mentioned Mike Devereaux had been an MVP in postseason play last year with Atlanta. Braves and Cardinals in that series this year. Line to left field. Surhoff hauls it in. Boggs was running, goes back to first base. 2 down. Charlie Hayes will come on now as the pinch hitter. Andy Fox came on to run for Cecil Fielder, the DH, so this is the spot in which Hayes is going to be hitting. With 2 away and a runner on at first base. Randy Myers with 2 down. He's a couple of hits and 11 at-bats in the postseason. 1 RBI. Oriole fans trying desperately to stay positive and make some noise here despite the 6-2 Yankee lead. Popped up behind second base. Alomar. The Yankees retired. No runs, a base hit, and 1 left on. John Wetland will go to work as Todd Zeile, who has a single and a home run in 3 at-bats, will be leading it off for the Baltimore Orioles in the bottom half of the 9th inning. The pitch is taken up high. Ball 1. Wetland with a fastball. Zeile taking. He wants a walk if he can get it here. Wetland in his 4th appearance in this series. 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs off him. Ball 3. He'll take this pitch. Strike on the outside corner. He may even take another. 3-1 count. Wetland during the season walked only 21, 63 innings, and he gives up a leadoff walk here. Delivery there for a strike. Alomar, Palmeiro, Bonilla, and Cal Ripken. Orioles 3, 4, 5, and 6 hitters in this game. 0 for 12. They have not been on base today, and Wetland comes right back to go 1 and 2 on Alomar. That is a big hurt. A big hole. 1-2 pitch towards second base. Soho. Jeter. No relay. Zeile taken out on the forced play at second base. Alomar, the fielder's choice, on at first. Luis Soho going towards first. Had trouble getting the ball out of the glove. Might have been able to turn 2 if Soho was able to make the initial throw, but he had to grip twice to make sure. And for the Yankees, what's important here now obviously is getting the lead runner, getting in out. The Orioles bottom of the 9th inning, 1 away. Palmeiro 0 for 3 down the left field line and foul. 1 strike count on Rafael Palmeiro. Yankees have made only 1 error in this series. They've not hurt themselves. Baltimore stung in the 3rd inning of this game on an error when Alomar could not handle a ground ball, and the Yankees got all 6 of their runs and 5 unearned off the starter Scott Erickson. Palmeiro with a 1 strike count, and it's Anthony's by Wetland. 0-2. Runner at first base is Roberto Alomar. Martinez, the first baseman, will play behind him with a left-handed hitter up, and he will guard the line as well. 0-2 delivery. Palmeiro takes it inside. Palmeiro faced Wetland only once during the regular season. Went 0 for 1 against him. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Palmeiro's called out on strikes. Wetland cut the slider on the inside corner. There are 2 down. Watch this one cut across the inside part of the plate. And Palmeiro the victim. The Yankee bullpen has been magnificent. See the numbers the bullpen pitchers have. Down to second base will go Alomar, uncontested. The New York Yankees 1 out away from going to the World Series. Wetland trying to wrap this game up. Bobby Bonilla 0 for 3. Takes that one to left field. It is deep at the warning track. Range reaching up. Can't get it. Goodbye home run. Bobby Bonilla 2-run homer. He was 0 for 19 in this series prior to this hit off Wetland. Ball is carried well here today, and Bonilla gets a 2-run homer. He had 1 off Wetland during the year. Gets another one here. It is a 6-4 Yankee lead. 2 down, 9th inning. Ripken down low for a ball. The Orioles need 2 more to keep this going. Last time 1983 for Cal Ripken, postseason play for Baltimore. He does not want it to end here, and he certainly doesn't want to be the one to end it. Bobby Bonilla getting his 3rd home run of the postseason to keep this alive. Wetland, strike on the outside corner, 1-1. He has been at the end of some games as Ripken and the Orioles beat Philadelphia in the World Series, made the final out, caught it to lead the celebration. Will he be the last out here? Fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ripken. Ripken, a ground ball to short. Jeter. The New York Yankees are going to the World Series.
You don't need a Wetland to know which way the wind blows. The Yankees make it through to their 34th World Series. That's how they did it, coming from behind for 2 wins, then crushing the O's in the final 2 games. Over in the National League, it was 2-1 Cardinals when we left you Sunday. Sunday night, the Cards won Game 4. Pinch hitter Dmitri Young tripled, and Brian Jordan homered in a 3-run 8th that gave St. Louis a 4-3 win. But Atlanta came back with 22 hits. They tomahawked Todd Stottlemyre for 5 runs in the 1st inning.